Well, first of all, I need to say that this topic is no picnic for me because I'm not a big fan of math, and actually I was never good at this subject, but still I would try my best. Is Today I'm going to talk about some basic math skills in the math class, which is subtraction, addition, multiplication, and division. These are the skills that is the most basic skills in a math class. I know these things when I'm in a primary school. I mean, that was the first year in my primary school. And my math teacher is Miss Chang. She is pretty strict and serious. Whenever I got an answer wrong, she would punish me. I mean, not only punish me, just everyone in the class. What she would do is to use a stick to hit everybody's head. So that is the nightmare for me. Because of it, whenever I got a problem to work on, I needed to wrap my brains to get the correct answer. But actually, I think this math skills is pretty useful in our daily life. I mean, the skills that we need to use in our daily life. For example, yesterday I went to a supermarket to buy some fruits like apples, peaches, and bananas. After I picked up all the things that I wanted to buy, the sales girl pulled out her calculator to do the math. But at that time, I just do all the things in my head, and the answer was completely correct. I was so proud of myself.
Okay, here is sample 5 of the part 2 topic of a math skill. Let's have a listen.
Well, first of all, I need to say that this topic is no picnic for me because I'm not a big fan of math, and actually I was never good at this subject, but still I would try my best.
Okay, now the total length of her response is about 1 minute 40, and she spent about 10 seconds complaining about the topic. Don't do that. Just start talking, even if you feel the topic is difficult. The examiners know which topics in part 2 are more difficult than others, because some are. And they will be somewhat sympathetic if it's a difficult question. Also in part 3, or rather if it's a difficult topic, and also in part 3, some questions are a little bit weird, and the examiners know that, and they will have some sympathy for you. Let's look at this here. Language, well, there's no picnic. I do like that. That's a nice phrase to use. If something is not easy, it's not a picnic. We got some self-correction here. But as but. And then we had some shouting here in the background. I don't know what was going on there.
Today I'm going to talk about some basic math skills in the math class.
Basic math skills in the math class. Okay.
Is subtraction, addition,
Okay, the word is subtraction, not subtraction. Subtraction.
multiplication, and
It's I'm having trouble too. Multiplication. Multiplication. Not multiplication. There's no L there. Multiplication.
division. These are the skills that is the most basic skills in a math class.
These are the skills that are the most basic skills. There's needless repetition here, like the and. The skills that is a skill. Why do we need to say this twice? So these are the most basic. Man, I'm having trouble talking. These are the most basic math skills in a math class. Drop the other skills.
Skills in a math class. I know these things when
I know. Why know? It's learn. I learned about these things, not know. Know and learn are not the same thing. I learned these things when I was in primary school. There's no
I'm in a primary school. I mean, that was the first year in my primary.
Year. in my primary school. Again, we have this needless repetition. I learned these things my first year in primary school. It's so much easier. I learned these things in my first year in primary school.
And my math teacher is Miss.
Well, if it was her first year, surely this is in the past. Was.
And she is very easy.
She was, past tense.
Pretty strict and serious. Whenever I got an answer wrong, she
An answer wrong.
would punish me. I mean, not only punish me, just everyone in the class.
When one student got an answer wrong, everyone in the class got punished. Whoa, what kind of school is this? But again, why do we have this self-correction here? It would punish me, not only punish me. All of this detracts from the coherence.
What she would do is to use a stick to hit everybody's head.
They got hit on the head with a stick. Is this true?
So that is the nightmare for me.
That was. And when she says nightmare, it's so clipped.
Oh, that is the nightmare for
Nightmare. She needs to, she needs to more fully pronounce the vowel sounds. Nightmare, not nightmare.
me. Because of it, whenever I got a problem to work on, I needed to rack my brains to get.
Also here, rack my brains. It's rack. Pronounce the vowels fully. I needed to rack my brains.
To rack my brains.
Rack my brains. It's too clipped. I'm confused now. I'm confused about when this has happened. Is this in the past? Or is this in grade 1? Correct answer. I guess this is grade 1, but she's using the present tense. Bit confusing.
I needed to rack my brains to get the correct answer.
Anyway, this rack my brains, yeah, that's a good phrase to use. Some idiomatic language here. Like you really need to think very carefully, very hard about the question.
But actually, I think this.
And again, the actually.
I think this math skills is.
This and then plural. This math skill, not skills.
Is pretty useful in our daily life. I mean.
Why doesn't she pause? It's pretty useful in our daily life. I mean, but no, there's no pause.
Pretty useful in our daily life. I mean, the skills that we need that we need to use in our.
I don't know what's going on here. There's a lot of self-correction. The skills that we need to use in our daily life. What? I mean, the skills that we need to use in our daily life. I mean what? I mean, I don't understand.
Use in our daily life. For example, yesterday I went to a supermarket to buy some fruits like apples, peaches, and bananas.
And again, she doesn't actually pause between anything. She just continues talking. I went to the supermarket to buy some fruit, apples. I don't know. I wouldn't use the word like. But that's just me, maybe. Apples, peaches, and bananas.
Like apples, peaches, and bananas. After I picked up all the things that
I can't hear what she's saying here. Is it pick it up or is it picked up?
Apples, peaches, and bananas. After I picked up all the things that
I don't know. If it's picked, she doesn't pronounce it correctly. If it's pick it, it's the wrong word.
After I picked up all the things that I wanted to buy, the sales girl pulled out her calculator to do the math.
Her chunking is really inappropriate here. Okay, the sales girl pulled out her calculator to do the math.
But at that time, I just do all the things in my head.
I don't understand that at that time. Does she mean before the sales girl pulled out the calculator or during that time? And why is there a but? I don't understand. Okay, so the sales girl pulled out her calculator to do the math, and at that time I was just doing. This should be the past continuous tense if it's at the same time, right? If this was happening and this was happening at the same time, we need the past continuous. I was just doing all this in my head, or I was just calculating. Yeah, it shouldn't be do these things. I was just doing the math. I was doing the math in my head, not hat, in my head.
My head, and the answer was completely correct.
Completely, again, she needs to really work on her vowels.
Answer was completely
Completely.
correct. I was so proud of myself.
Okay. Let's have a look at some scores. For fluency and coherence, 6. Is willing to speak at length? Yeah, just barely, I suppose. The repetition and the self-correction are big problems for her. I think I pointed that out already, but let's have a look at that. Well, like here, like the math skills, why is this repeated? Some basic math skills in the math class. These are the skills. That is the most basic skills. Why is she saying skills twice? In primary school, my first year in primary school, she keeps on repeating herself. Let's see, but she does use words like whenever, not only. What she would do is, so, because. But actually, well, these are the positives, right? I mean, for example, so there are definitely examples we can find of using connectives and discourse markers. Let's move on to Lexis. Lexis, she does sometimes use inappropriate words, but generally it doesn't really detract from her ability to communicate. I mean, look at this. We've got pulled out. Here she says do all the things. I think she meant math, but hey, we can still understand, right? Pretty useful. That's a nice phrase. Sometimes she has problems distinguishing between singular and plural. Like she says this math skill, but we can still understand what she's saying. Rack my brains. That was great. Correct answer. That's pretty good. It was a nightmare for me. Oh, and I forgot in the beginning. No picnic. That's a nice phrase. And she has some words directly related to math, like multiplication, even though she mispronounced it. We got skills. We've got division here. So yeah, Lexis 6. Grammar. I think I pointed out the mistakes. There are frequent mistakes, but it doesn't detract from comprehension that much. You can still understand what she's saying, even though there are a lot of mistakes. Pronunciation 5. She speaks too fast. She doesn't pause in appropriate places. Her chunking is inadequate, and because she speaks so fast, there isn't really any rhythm. Let's just play from here.
Brains to get the correct answer. But actually, I think this math skills is pretty useful.
And when she doesn't speak too fast, this happens. This math skill is pretty useful. There's no connected, there's no fluidity in her speech. It's word for word for word, or she speaks so fast that it's difficult for her to use chunking.
Stick to his everybody's has. So that is the nightmare for me because of it.
Like nightmare for me. Okay, so 5. So overall, 5.5.